Good day everyone, I'm Quasar, and today is good day to play some video games. Today we're gonna continue our adventure with the excavation of Hobbs Barrow. So let's continue. So, we need to convince the guy who owns the land to let us dig into the Hobbs Barrow, and while we were just exploring, we saw some girls, so let's follow.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes?
Did you see a young girl with blonde hair pass by here?
No, lass. There you are. Are you Thomasina Bateman?
You know me. You're Leonard's shoulder.
That's my name.
How marvelous. It's me, Leonard Shoulder.
You take your time to finally show up.
Heavens! I'd given up on finding you.
Please take a seat, Miss Bateman. We have much to discuss.
You've proven to be quite the enigma, Mr. Shoulder.
I'm mortified. I offer you 1,000 apologies. You see, I've been bound to me bed these past few days with a terrible fever.
How dreadful. I take it you're feeling better now?
Aye, I were on me way to find you when I stopped here to catch me breath. I've not much go in me these days.
I'm sorry to hear that.
I were worried you'd have given up on me and left town.
I had no idea what had become of you, Mr. Shoulder. I spent a good amount of time pounding on your front door.
I'm embarrassed, I really am. I've been doing my best to sleep through the fever. I am so very sorry. Please accept my apology, Miss Bateman.
Fine, Mr. Shoulder. I've come all this way. Let us speak of the business at hand.
Marvelous.
I've just learned that my father was part of a previous excavation of Hobbs Barrow some 25 years ago. Why didn't you mention this in your letter?
What? Where did you hear that?
I have my means.
I swear, Miss Bateman, I had no idea.
Lies.
I take it you will also deny delivering me my father's journal?
I'm confused. What journal?
My father's journal was slipped under my door at the Plough and Furrow. It wasn't you who did this.
I've been bound to me bed, lass. What an extraordinary coincidence. You are following in your father's footsteps.
It would seem so, Mr. Shoulder.
Don't know if that's a good idea. I'm gonna end up in like a vegetable. Let's start from the top.
Why did you invite me to excavate Hobbs Barrow?
I've always been curious about the colourful folklore surrounding the place. My father told me all sorts of stories about it when I were a wee fellow. Stories that some folk around here take a little too seriously, especially after those lads entered the Barrow a while back.
How did you know about me?
I saw your interview in the Bakewell Times. A young lady travelling about the land, digging up barrows. Perfect for the job.
But why do you wish to excavate the barrow?
I want to see what those lads found in there. My curiosity has grown over the years, and now it is time for the mystery to be solved.
I must say I am rather eager to find out what's in there myself. I've managed to find Hobbs Barrow, but Mr. Bryden is yet to give me permission to excavate.
Is that so? Keep trying. He'll relent eventually.
What? I'm supposed to try? You were saying that it's no problem to get permission for that. You tried to get the permission.
Perhaps you could have a word with him.
Oh no, A lovely young lass such as yourself has a better chance of changing his mind than a shaky old goat like me.
You told me in your letter there would be no issue gaining access to the Barrow.
I didn't foresee any when I wrote to you. I'm sorry this has been more complicated than anticipated. Don't give up yet, Miss Bateman. Keep trying with Mr. Bryden.
We can always remove Mr. Brighton.
Did you know my father?
I don't believe so. What's his name?
William Bateman. He was in Bewley for at least a few days, from my understanding.
I'm sorry, lass. The name doesn't ring a bell.
Are you sure you had no idea of my father's involvement in the previous excavation?
I'm quite sure. A most fascinating coincidence, but nothing more than that.
I'm starting to wonder if it's more than mere coincidence, Mr. Shoulder.
Miss Bateman, I did not take you for a credulous individual.
I'm none of the sort. What can you tell me about the previous excavation of Hobbs Barrow?
Oh, it were 25 years ago, or thereabout. Back then, Bewley were undergoing a period of great strife. Samuel Bryden hadn't harvested a single crop for 2 seasons. Even Hernwood was sick. Berries went to rot almost as quickly as they grew. Folks started to believe the ground were blighted. Disease spread through the livestock too. People were going hungry, a panic set in.
That sounds terrible.
Aye, but I managed to keep myself fed. These things happen in nature, but the blame for it all fell on Hobbs Barrow. It were long said that a goblin made his home there. A rumour took root that the goblin were not best pleased with the villagers. In revenge for some unperceived slight, the goblin placed a curse on the soil itself. The villagers believed that ridding the Barrow of its lodger would put an end to it all.
Hogwash. My father would have paid no heed to such tales.
Whether it were his intent to join the excavation when coming here, I do not know. But whatever it were that Samuel Bryden and those lads did inside that barrow, people say it did the trick. The crop started to grow back, and health returned to the livestock. Bewley were no longer in the grip of dark forces. You must understand, folk here are a superstitious lot.
Let me guess, my father was sacrificed, so the land can prosper.
They don't want you disturbing whatever it were those lads did. As far as the villagers are concerned, the problem were fixed. The thought of another excavation must be conjuring panic that you'll undo whatever it were they did.
This does explain a lot.
And it's also why I'd venture nobody around here wants you to touch the place.
Except for you.
I want to know what's there.
Surely you don't believe these tales of goblins and curses to be true.
Not at all. However, I suspect those lads did find something in the barrow. But did it have any connection to failing crops and dying livestock? No. I can assure you there's nothing to fear. Coincidence reigns supreme.
So what do you think they found?
That is for us to discover, Miss Bateman.
Who was the third man who joined my father and Mr. Bryden on the excavation?
I'm afraid I don't know. Although I'd heard about the excavation and I were intrigued by it, I mostly stayed at home during that time. The atmosphere in the village was rather too tense for me liking. And besides, the excavation were undertaken with an air of mystery about it.
Tell me more of this folklore you mention.
It is said that Hobbs Barrow is home to a goblin. Everyone in Bewley has some version or another of this story. But the version my father told me as a child described the barrow as a thin place. The goblin were deemed to be the guardian of this so-called thin place.
Tell me more about this goblin.
Some said he were a mischievous little mite, snatching newborn lambs and smashing windows with pebbles. Others said he were friendly, there to lend a helping hand in times of strife. The latter of which makes it all the more surprising as to why the previous excavation took place. My father's stories put the goblin in the mischievous category. Sacksnot, he called the creature. I recall one such anecdote, that Sacksnot entered Bewley and ordered a pair of boots to be made by the cobbler. However, when collecting them, he insisted on paying for them with a bag of sow's teeth. The cobbler was so scared of angering the goblin that he accepted.
A colourful tale indeed, Mr. Shoulder. Has any explanation been offered for why this Sacksnot cursed the soil?
Your guess is as good as mine, lass.
What is a thin place?
A place where one can walk between worlds, where the flesh meets the spirit world. Just superstition, of course, as you well know.
I had a peculiar dream last night. I met a creature at Hobbs Barrow. I suppose you might say it was a goblin. It told me it had saved my father from trouble inside Hobbs Barrow. I'll admit the coincidence of this is somewhat astounding.
A remarkable coincidence, but nothing more than that.
But there is still one thing that puzzles me. The goblin told me proof of its claims would await me in the morning. Surely enough, I awoke to find that my father's journal had appeared in my room.
Very queer indeed.
Mr. Shoulder, you invited me here, to a town I'd never heard of, only for me to discover that my own father was here 25 years before. And not only that, but that he was also embroiled in some sort of superstitious hysteria which goes against everything he ever taught me. Something is wrong here. This must be more than mere coincidence.
It's strange, I'll give you that. But please remember who you are, Miss Bateman.
This is my father's journal.
Incredible. Can I look inside?
You may.
Look at these drawings. Wonder what it all means.
You and I both. It all feels very out of character for my father.
I'm sure you'll find the answers beneath the soil, Miss Bateman.
We need to start digging.
What do you make of this strange stone?
A carving of a cockerel?
Yes, it was strapped to my father's journal. Do you think it could have something to do with the previous excavation?
Possibly, though I'm not aware of the motif having any meaning around these parts.
Is this your glove?
I've been looking all over for that. Where did you find it?
In the alley behind the plough and furrow on the night of my arrival. Were you there?
As I say, I've been bedbound for several days, Miss Bateman.
How odd.
Can I please have it back?
Here.
Thank you. We're peas of the same pod, Miss Bateman. I knew you wouldn't be frightened by a few old stories. It will be interesting to see what those lads found in there.
Certainly.
Thank you so very much for responding to my letter and for coming here. We have some great discoveries to make, you and I.
I sincerely hope so.
And a chance to follow in your father's footsteps. Right, time for me to shift these old bones. I'm to take me a spot of the plough and furrow. I'll be there all night should you need me assistance.
Thank you, Mr. Shoulder.
I'm sorry again for giving you the runaround. I promise I am not beyond redemption. I won't let you down again. See you soon.
I was starting to wonder if Mr. Shoulder even existed.
So he exists?
Margaret's Lookout, dedicated to Arthur. Margaret's dedicated to Arthur's mother. The day was starting to test me. The word coincidence felt insufficient to explain what was happening. It was after that first conversation with Leonard's shoulder that I started entertaining thoughts of a truly irrational nature. What if my dream wasn't just a dream? What if it was all more than simple coincidence? What if that thing really could help my father? Good day, little one. Hello? What's this? A fiddle bow? There's no string.
It's a stick.
My name is Thomasina. What's yours? Don't be shy. I don't mean you any harm.
Yet.
What are you doing out here all alone on the moors? Do you live here? Would you like me to fix your bow so you can play your fiddle again? Yes? Hey! Most peculiar. Perhaps I can mend the bow for her. If memories of my childhood violin lessons serve me right, bowstring is made from animal hair coated in a waxy resin. The strings don't vibrate without it.
We got resin. Now we need animal hair.
What a peculiar name, the Devil's Toe. I can't quite see the resemblance myself. The Devil's Toe, a local landmark.
Goat.
Mr. Shoulder told... He looks much too unruly to be picked up. You're a sweet little thing, aren't you?
I need to have goat. I don't know any other animals. Well, there is a rabbit.
I shall name you Kenneth II.
And what I'm supposed to do with those worms?
William Paxton. Modest. That would be rather cruel to the poor worm. That would be rather... I've no desire...
Okay. I don't know what to do with the worm. Maybe we can give it to the goat. the other way. Arthur, are you still here? No, he's not here. Yes, we got resin. Okay, goat was at the Hobbs Barrow. Another retrospect.
Mummy?
Mommy went crazy.
Get away from the fire, Thomasina.
What are you burning?
Nothing. Just waste. Now go inside.
Abrax. Mummy, what is this?
Waste. Burn it.
She's a witch.
This is not mine to take.
You want warm?
I should leave the goat alone.
Okay, I need some hair of an animal. Can you help?
Good day, Mr. Bryden.
Miss,
I'll stop you there. I know what you're going to ask.
Yes, I need some hair from your goat.
No, I haven't changed my mind. There'll be no digging here, lass.
Mr. Bryden, allow me to explain. There has been an astonishing development this morning.
Yes?
My father was with your brother during the excavation.
Oh,
Yes. Can you believe it? I had no idea he had been here.
the answer's still no, lass. I saw what happened to poor Samuel. I won't risk the same happening to anyone else.
But
That's enough now. You can feast your eyes on that hovel to your heart's content, but there'll be no digging.
I'm not sure what that would achieve. That's a peculiar idea.
Maybe the stone is magical.
I should leave the goat alone.
Or no.
I should leave the goat. Good day.
Hey up.
Look at this, Mr. Crozier. It's my father's journal.
Oh, aye? Why are you showing me?
Did you slip it under my door last night?
Have you gone daft? Why would I have your father's journal?
Never mind. Did the sketches inside mean anything to you?
Looks like a load of rubbish to me.
I found out my father visited Bewley 25 years ago. William Bateman, perhaps you remember him?
I would have been just a lad. What were he here for?
That's what I intend to find out. What do you make of this stone?
Don't look like out to me.
Are you familiar with any local folklore?
Oh, aye. The old cobbler used to tell me some right stories. Swore he sold a pair of boots to a goblin when he were a young man.
A goblin, you say? I take it this cobbler was a regular at the Plough and Furrow?
Never drank a day in his life. Sober as a judge. Have you been to the Devil's Toe?
Yes, I'm familiar with the cairn.
Some say they've seen the goblin's daughter there, playing her fiddle.
How peculiar. I met a girl near there earlier. She gave me this broken fiddle bow.
Ha! Well, you've experienced the local folklore firsthand then, lass.
Do you know any other stories about this goblin?
I don't have the time to be standing here gossiping about old wives' tales.
Apologies. I'm having some trouble extricating a knife from a table in the Plough and Furrow.
Can you borrow your tools?
Might I borrow a pair of pliers?
A knife, you say? I can get that out for you.
That's very kind of you, Mr. Crozier.
Think nothing of it. Wait here. That were a struggle. Here you are.
Thank you so much. Does the name Saxnot mean anything to you?
Never heard of it. What is it?
Never mind. Thanks for your time.
Aye. Speak to you later.
Thanks for the knife. Now I can cut the goat from the rope. Still not done yet?
Good day.
I'm still setting up my stall. Come back later.
Oh, Good day.
I'm still setting up my stall. Come back later.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Well, look at that. Animal just appeared.
The horse has been provided with some drinking water. That's not mine to take. A fine specimen. She's well looked after.
Horse? Can't I just cut the tail? I need to butcher the whole horse?
Horsehair would make fine bowstring. She almost took my head off.
You want to eat some worm?
I don't wish to interfere with her water. No, that's not it.
What, I need to find an apple or something?
I don't wish to wake him up. I'd rather... Hello again, Mr. Shoulder.
Miss Bateman?
I've still not been able to gain permission to excavate from Mr. Bryden.
Surprise, surprise.
Is that so? Perhaps you could show him something that might change his mind.
I'm supposed to undress and dance for him?
I've still not been able to gain permission to excavate from Mr. Bryden.
Is that perhaps?
What else can you tell me about this Sax knot?
Try not to worry yourself too much with these old stories. Leave those to the locals, Miss Bateman.
Have others spoken of goblins appearing in their dreams?
A dream is a dream, that is all. They merely make for good stories.
I know.
But to answer your question, no, not to my knowledge.
Tell me about yourself, Mr. Shoulder.
I'm sure the locals have filled you in already, lass.
You cut quite the mysterious figure. Most had little to say.
It's true, I do tend to keep my head down. When one gets to my age, one grows very comfortable in one's home. I like the isolation of the moors. I wouldn't change it for anything.
I take it you don't get many visitors.
Oh no, nobody bothers me. That's the perk of living so far out, huh? Just me and me hens. I used to come into Bewley more often, back before my health went to bugger, eh?
What do you think of Bewley?
Whilst one could consider the villages to be rather unenlightened, this place has its charm. The markets in town today, you can see that folk want fun out here.
Is there anything else I should know about Hobbs Barrow, Mr. Shoulder?
No, lass. I'm certain we will know a lot more about it by this time tomorrow.
I hope so. What else can you tell me about the previous excavation?
I think I covered it earlier, Miss Bateman. As you yourself said, it were a time of superstitious hysteria.
What was it like, living in that period of hysteria?
I kept to myself. It didn't really affect me. My hens stayed healthy and their eggs kept me well fed. If one can keep a level head in such situations, one can get by.
Indeed. Is there anything else I should be aware of before my own excavation? No other ghouls I should be worried about?
You know the answer to that. The corruption in that soil were all in the minds of men.
What do you make of Lord Panswick?
His lordship is an important man in Bewley, as I'm sure you have gathered. His family has commanded much respect here for many generations.
Do you respect him as a leader?
I do. He wants the best for the village.
Or does he just say so?
Without his influence, the railway line would have never come through here.
Does he want more visitors?
Aye, I believe so. He has great ambitions for Bewley and wants to share them with the world.
What do you make of Mildred Walker?
Painter?
Who?
I believe she's also known as Mother Mildred.
The witch.
Oh, we used to get about when we were children. Our paths have not crossed in a long while.
What do you think of Charles Bryden?
This the painter?
He is a decent man. It must have been hard for him after that terrible business with his brother.
Without a doubt. I must say I had assumed you had at least spoken to him about my visit.
Sorry, lass, I had no intention of giving you the runaround. Again, I can only apologize.
If you don't mind me asking, what is the nature of your ongoing illness?
Oh, just the ravages of age. Getting off this bench will be a small battle in itself. Something you won't need to worry about for many a year, Miss Bateman.
Growing old is a blessing and a curse.
More like just curse.
And what of your recent fever?
An ordeal it were. So much tossing and turning. But I'm right as rain now, especially after a mug of ale.
Yeah, for sure. Mug of ale cures everything.
Don't worry about me.
What are Lord Panswick's plans for Bewley?
He's rebuilding an old chapel on his estate. He seeks to bring God back to these lands.
But what of St. Edmunds? I think Father Roach might argue God has never left.
Indeed. Let's leave such arguments to them, shall we?
Thank you for your time.
Aye, Miss Bateman. We will speak more later.
You found old Leonard, I see.
Yes, finally. I've had some rather unbelievable news, Stanley.
Oh? Remarkable.
Quite the coincidence, is it not?
Remarkable. Just remarkable.
Do you recall my father from back then?
I'm afraid not. Those were my droving days, you see. I didn't spend much time in Bewley. But an interesting turn of events nonetheless.
What do you know of Mother Mildred?
I'll tell you what I know about Mother Mildred. She wants locking up.
What?
How so?
She owes me a small fortune on her tab from years ago. Do remind her next time you see her, won't you?
Okay.
I'd rather not get involved, if you don't mind.
Be careful who you trust, Miss Bateman.
Who is Miss Tompkins?
A housemaid in the employ of Panswick Manor. She comes by to pick up his lordship's weekly paper.
I'm surprised newspapers are available in Bewley.
Aye, his lordship gets what he wants.
Lord Panswick likes to keep up with affairs from outside of Bewley.
Aye, he has many interests around the country.
What sort of interests?
His lordship's affairs are his own business.
Does the name Saxnot mean anything to you?
No, I can't say it does.
Goodbye.
See you soon.
I don't need to use... Hello there.
Yes?
My name is Thomasina. What's yours?
Ted? Ted Cross?
Pleased to meet you.
Likewise.
Are you a local, Mr. Cross?
Oh no, I'm just passing through. I'm a musician. Just myself, me guitar and me horse.
Are you a travelling musician?
Aye. I've been playing a new song tonight. I've just finished the lyrics.
What's it about?
You'll have to come listen.
Is that your horse stationed in the alley?
Aye. Thistlecrack is her name.
That's an unusual name for a horse.
Aye. It were what she were called when I bought her. Glutton would be a better name. She likes her treats. But it feels wrong to change it.
What's her treat?
What do you make of Bewley?
Can't say that I know much about this place. I don't usually travel this far south.
I see. Have you heard of a place called Hobbs Barrow?
Can't say I have, miss. What is it?
Never mind. Thank you for your...
Make sure you watch my performance later, won't you?
I'll try. He appears to be lost in deep thought.
What horse could eat as a treat? Flowers? It was here or... No.
John dearly beloved. No, that's not it. The delicate flowers smell rather sweet.
Take it for the horse.
No, that won't work. No, that won't. I'm not sure. What are those berries you're picking?
An ancient breed, no good for eating. However, they do have some medicinal quality.
I see. I can't think of anything else to talk. I shouldn't. I shan't be visiting.
Treat for a horse.
I have nothing. There's nothing. Good day.
I'm still setting up my stall. Come back later.
Oh, I'm sorry. A fine specimen. I could certainly use the knife to cut some hair from her tail, but I'm going to have to gain her trust unless I want a hoof to the nose. I don't wish to lose an eye. I'll have to gain her trust. I don't wish to... I'll have to... A fine specimen. The post has been embellished with a fine bronze bust of a horse. I could tether a horse here if I had one. The horse has been provided with... That's not mine to... A humble local dwelling.
Where is Willie or William or...
The road disappears over the horizon. I don't wish to... I'll have to... I don't wish to carry around my heavy... It's this way to Mr.
You want warm?
Good day,
My dear.
How is your painting coming along?
Quite well, but it needs more work. I'm aching to show you, but I must restrain myself.
Goodbye.
See you soon.
It's William Modest. The devil. I'm not sure what that.
Sacrifice for the devil. Worm.
No, that was. No. A carved stone has been affixed to the door. I think it depicts a crescent moon. That would be rather. That would be rather. That would be.
Maybe we can sacrifice chicken.
I do not wish to harass the hen. I do not wish to harass. I've no desire. Mr. Shoulder told me he'd be at the Plough and Furrow.
Maybe this will. This magical stone will work with rooster.
I do not wish to harass the rooster.
Or no.
I do not wish to harass the. I do not. This appears to be a recently dug, unmarked grave. That's a peculiar idea.
We need to provide fresh worms for the new grave.
Mr. Bryden is right. I should leave the goat alone. I should leave. Goat hair is much too coarse to be used for. Goat hair is much too coarse to be used for bowstring.
Okay, can't use the goat.
No question. I'm not in.
But
Off with you.
this is where I dug up Jane's ragdoll. This is where John, dearly beloved. I don't think anyone really wants to see my worm. I don't wish to give. I can't think of anything else to talk about right now.
Okay, I think it's time to make some break. Because I'm stuck and I don't know what to do. I need some treat.
There's nothing else I wish to discuss at the moment.
Where I get treat for the horse? From who?
Hello again, Miss.
Miss Bear?
I've still not been able to gain
Is that perhaps you could show him something that might change his mind?
Thank you for.
We will.
I've already shown him. I don't wish to give. Look, Mr. Bryden, my father's journal. It confirms he was with your brother during the excavation of Hobbs Barrow.
Probably he was the one who slipped this journal into my room.
Ha! Take that away from me. I'll be having none of that.
What do you make of this stone, Mr. Bryden? It was strapped to my father's journal.
Wait a minute. Let me see that. By God. Wait here a moment. I need to get something from inside.
Stone with the
I
cow?
waited for what felt like an age. I now realise that Mr. Bryden must have been in a great debate with himself, wondering whether or not to share his own piece of the mystery with me. The goat stared at me, seemingly in pity, as I stood there in that rolling fog. Finally, Mr. Bryden emerged.
Now then. As far as I know, what I have here is the only thing that Samuel brought back from Barrow. Take a look.
Incredible! A pear!
That's been in my drawer ever since Samuel passed. I suppose it might be important, so I kept it safe. Fate is clearly playing a part in your arrival, lass.
Please, Mr. Bryden, allow me to excavate Hobbs Barrow, a place that is no more than dirt and stone.
You're not gonna give up, are you, lass?
No.
I'm not.
Samuel managed to say one thing about those men that helped him. I think it's time I tell you.
Yes?
He stuttered out that one of those fellows could barely walk after they got out of there. Tongue-tied too, the man were.
My father.
You what?
My father. He had an accident around 25 years ago that left him bedbound and unable to talk.
Aye, could be him.
My mother told me it happened in a horse riding accident.
Samuel boarded up that barrow for a reason. Something unnatural occurred, I know it.
Mr. Bryden, we must rely on our rational faculties to explain any...
Promise me you'll be careful. Any sign of trouble, leave without hesitation and we board that accursed place up again. Understood?
Wait, You're giving me permission to excavate.
Aye. Against me better judgment. I don't have the energy to stop you, lass.
Thank you so much. I am grateful.
Don't make me regret my decision. Take Samuel's stone.
Are you sure?
Aye. Give it back to me when you're finished, though.
Maybe that stone is necessary to open the gate.
I promise. Thank you. I'll be sure to show you my discoveries, Mr. Bryden.
I'd rather you don't. Now then, I've got things to get on with.
I don't suppose you can spare any labour to help me with the dig?
Don't push your luck, lass. Market's on today. Plenty of able-bodied men about. Ta-ra now.
And like that, I finally had permission to excavate Hobbs Barrow. As exciting as that was, I was distracted by what Mr. Bryden said of his brother's associate. There was no doubt in my mind that father was the stricken man he spoke of. You told me he was crippled after coming off his horse. Why did you lie to me? To protect me? To stop me from following in his footsteps? You failed, and so did Charles Bryden. He should have said no. He should have never given me that stone.
Now we have 2 stones. But we don't have the treat for the horse. Oh, ho, ho. So many people.
The produce is not mine to take.
Okay, it's time to make some break. We got permission to excavate the Hobbs Barrow. And the story will continue in the next episode. Thanks everyone for watching. See you next time.